Fans of the channel will recall when I previously covered how KoMETA graduated all of their talents. And after that news went live, you may have gone to check out the announcement and look at the quote retweets and have been confused by posts like this saying, "Congratulations to all talents finally graduate from KoMETA, you are free now." And you may have been confused because it seems kind of like a weird thing to congratulate someone for leaving a company. That's not the response we typically get. But if you dig ever so slightly deeper, you will see this tweet from Karsa, who goes into a little bit more detail as to why people are congratulating on the talents for leaving, saying, "Maybe you should have just apologized to the talents for ruining the on-live concert, ghosting Virgil about her new outfit which was promised, and doing nothing to support the talents, or having any merch to the point that they've all graduated before it's released. Incompetent clowns." Which, can I say, hot damn, that is a spicy hot take. So for anyone as confused as I was about what they're talking about, let's watch a clip from Virgil to get a better picture about what's going on here.
I thought what I was going to do was sing live on like Discord or whatever, and then they would broadcast it to the venue, right? So I was confused when they were like, "Virgil, you said you were gonna sing live, right? Where are you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm at my house, I'm waiting for it." I'm like, No, you have to be at the venue." I'm like, "I live 5 hours from the venue." And I was like, wait, Gira didn't tell us anything about this. Gira, what am I supposed to do? Pre-record your stuff. Oh my god! Live means not using your VTuber model. Live means not being on the screen. Live means being a human being standing on the stage with a mic, and I am not doing that. We are not even allowed to do that in the first place. But Mira didn't know because nobody told her, like Bossa didn't tell her. And she did say if she knew it was pre-recorded, she would have joined too. But Bossa didn't tell her anything either. He just asked her if she wants to join, because it was going to be like a performance, and she also assumed it was going to be live singing, like what I thought it was, like screen singing, like stream. If Gira informed us way better, then the entire KoMETA would have sang on the event but not live.
Now, personally, I do think it's just a little bit insane for the CEO of a VTuber company to not explain to their talents what going live at a venue actually means for that venue. And it was at this point in my deep dive on KoMETA that I started to get the feeling that Gira is probably a dickhead. And that's when I noticed that this was actually a quote retweet of another tweet, and that this tweet is part of a much longer thread detailing all the shit that Gira has done to their talents. Now, I'm not going to go over the whole thing because it's very long, but I am going to go through a couple of highlights. So the user by the name of Karsa says, "You may be wondering why Virgil's fans are celebrating her graduation from KoMETA. Under normal circumstances, we would be upset. I've personally spent a year of my free time following her as a dedicated fan. Let me give you the rundown." Notable gripes include Karsa saying Gira appears more focused on being an e-celebrity than an actual CEO. He then goes on to detail how Gira promised Virgil on stream that he would pay for a new outfit once she reached 15k subs, but once she actually reached 15k subs, he ghosted her and then later admitted he couldn't actually afford to get her a new outfit. He then goes on to detail the confusion about the live venue performance that was explained in the clip from earlier. Karsa then goes on to call out Gira about not supporting the talents. He ghosted Virgil about her first cover, her outfit, Elaine's graduation, and more, completely ignoring talents on important issues. This one I find particularly shitty, where apparently Elaine had no real choice but to graduate due to health issues, and during her graduation stream, she said in tears she had agreed to a replacement, or in other words, a new voice actor for Elaine's model, even reusing her channel, which in my opinion, that's insane. Look, I understand that assets are expensive. Live 2D models are hella expensive and a company wants to save money. But that model is tied to a specific person, a specific personality, a real-life human being that the fans have gotten to know, and you can't just swap them like voice actors because, in my opinion, I don't think VTubers are voice actors. I know that's a spicy take and a lot of people disagree with me, but I don't consider VTubers voice actors. I think they're real people who are most of the time not acting and just being themselves, and that avatar is intrinsically tied to who they are as a human being, not them as a character. The model is replaceable. The human being behind it is not. And it seems that this screenshot of the comments section 100% agrees with me, saying, don't do replacements. The fan arts for Elaine were made for you. Or let Elaine leave with this legacy, don't replace her. I couldn't agree more. Now, in my previous video, I specifically stated that KoMETA said that they were keeping their talent management side open despite having no talents to manage. And I theorized that it's possible he's going to find new talents. But I had no idea that when he said he was going to find new talents, that he was just going to find voice actors to replace the models he already has. And apparently that's just because KoMETA lacks the resources to afford new models or to start another channel from scratch. In other words, KoMETA is fucking broke. And this kind of tracks with what we saw earlier, where Virgil was promised a model and didn't get one because Gira was broke. And I do want to make one thing very, very clear. I'm not mad that the CEO is broke. This was obviously a very small company. It's pretty clear that the CEO thought this was going to be way more profitable than it turned out to be. He made all these promises for support and outfits and all this other jazz, assuming they'd have the resources to do so. And while I definitely don't want to give the CEO too much leeway, because it does sound like he's a bit of a dickhead, I do want to be 100% fair and saying a brand new startup of only 3 talents can't really be expected to fulfill the duties of larger companies like Niji-Sanji and Hololive, which I would like to remind you, even large companies like Niji-Sanji struggle to provide proper support for their talents. Now, I'm not going to show the rest of this post because it does contain one of the VTubers' real first name, and even though it's only a first name, I still don't think it's appropriate to share that information, even if it can't be used for doxing purposes. But effectively, Gira begins a stream in which the title contains the real first name of one of the talents. And it's at this point that the talents all lose faith in Gira. One of them starts crying while at work, and they all decide that they need to leave this company because they're sick of Gira's shit. And honestly, I think that's completely fair. Now, there are a couple of things in this thread that I just didn't go over because I didn't think they were as relevant as the others, and I didn't want this video to be too terribly long, but I think you guys get the idea. A lot of people aren't happy with Gira, and Gira really doesn't have the resources to continue, but he still wants to do so anyway. And to be completely honest, even if Gira does restart with new talents, budget concerns have been a consistent issue throughout KoMETA's lifespan. If he starts with new talents, he's just gonna have the same money problems as he did before because a tiny VTuber agency just isn't gonna give him the funding that he needs to fulfill the promises that he makes to these talents. Especially not after his name has been publicly slammed like this. No one's going to support his company because nobody fucking likes him. The next thing that I would like to do is just kind of rapid fire a bunch of VTuber graduations because honestly, I don't have the time and energy to research every single graduation because there's honestly just too many people. So the first one I want to go over is that Zen Gunawan is in fact leaving Maha 5. According to the Maha 5 official tweet, they appear to be leaving on good terms. In his tweet, he clarifies that he does not want to leave, but Maha 5 decided to not renew his contract and he is heartbroken by it. However, despite him doing an entire stream about his graduation, the comments seem entirely supportive and nobody seems to be trashing Maha 5. So aside from the fact that he doesn't actually want to leave, it seems everything is fine, I guess? I don't know. The entire stream was in Indonesian and I do not speak it, so we move on. The next graduation I would like to go over technically could be argued to not be a graduation at all. It is simply that Lucid Multimedia is releasing Roza Coatl from her contract and allowing her to go indie and keep her contract. There has been some speculation as to why she's leaving the company, but some people believe that the reason she's being released from her contract is simply that they don't want to be associated with her anymore. Why? Well, let's take a look. It's entirely possible the company just doesn't want anything to do with Roza because of comments like this. Or comments like this. Or perhaps comments like this. Or perhaps comments like this. It seems that this VTuber is a fan of using some choice gamer words, and it's entirely possible that their corpo just doesn't want to associate with them anymore because they're bad for their image. But that's entirely speculation. And although it's only speculation, I'm not the only one who is speculating this, as this person saying, no surprise, the moment the corpo tuber who got suspended for using slurs is let off the hook, she uses more slurs. So, you know. Moving right along with the graduation news, Maid-chan from Wactor has also graduated. And that's all the attention I'm going to give that update because I really don't have time. We have to move on. There are so many people leaving in 2023. It feels borderline apocalyptic at this point. And if for any reason you disagree that there's been just a shocking amount of graduations in 2023, I'd like to show you Donnie Darko, a VTuber simp who has been cataloging a shit ton of graduations. Starting in March, Donnie Darko started quote retweeting every graduation announcement with the phrase, "come home," and a picture of Yagu extending his hand to join cover. And I just wanna let you guys watch as we go through Zion, Mirai Akari, Amatsuka, and just so many more. We'll have to speed up because there's so many more. It just keeps going. We'll have to speed up. We gotta speed up or we're not gonna get through the end of it. All of these graduations since March. Oh my god, we're gonna have to speed up a little bit. There's so many more to go through. Look how long this list is. Jesus Christ. And his most recent update was on June 2nd to Mirai and Virgil of KoMETA's Live. 2023 is the fucking purge, guys. I know I literally just said I was gonna speedrun graduations, but this one caught my eye and I do want to highlight this particular graduation. Yeah, that's right, the graduation news doesn't end here. There's so goddamn many. Now, this particular one is actually an update to a previous graduation that I covered months ago, and that is Riifu Evergreen. So several months after she graduated, it seems EIEN Project has released a statement that is aggressively slandering her name. I won't go through it word for word, but I will highlight a few things. Most noticeably, multiple breaches of the non-disclosure agreement, publicly sharing information without prior approval, sharing IRL images of her body after management denied her request, breaking the rules, unprofessionality, inappropriate behavior, not responding to feedback, disregard of our rules, and when told to cut the shit, her response was simply that her numbers were benefiting from all this rebellious behavior. It became pretty clear that management and Riifu didn't get along, and she questioned what would happen when she graduates, when being in quotes to highlight that she knew she was not long for this company. And when EIEN told her that they retain all accounts and her IP in the case of termination or graduation, she got pissed and called them all thieves. Most notably, one of the accusations of thievery comes from the fact that her company's Steam account will be retained by EIEN, and she's pissed because there's a lot of games that she bought on that Steam account with her own money. So by the fact that they are keeping that Steam account, she's losing out on all the games she purchased. She then proceeded to cuss them out, and the whole thing ended in flames. The last time a corporation released a statement specifically detailing why they terminated a VTuber was Zion, and after I publicly praised that company for their transparency, Zion came swinging with a rebuttal, basically calling them out on all of their bullshit. So I am not going to praise EIEN Project right now, because even though I do want to believe they are being transparent and honest and simply filling us in as to what's going on behind the scenes, my VTuber news guy's senses are tingling, and I have a feeling that a mysterious document is gonna come out of nowhere by their alt account, which is totally not them, but also obviously clearly them, taking a crack at this statement and dispelling all of the things that they are saying here against them. So I'm gonna hold my judgment until this document mysteriously apparates from an alt account. Now, on a semi-related note, a lot of people don't like working for corporations as a talent because they make you sign an NDA. And to just sort of give you an understanding about how people feel when they're part of a corporation that makes them sign an NDA and then things go sour, I would like to draw your attention to this talent who has recently left a company that made them sign an NDA. Starting off expressing her displeasure with this saying, "Due to legal implications, I cannot stream. My apologies. Life advice, don't sign contracts, don't sign NDAs, only work for yourself, and for God's sake, get a lawyer involved the moment something seems off." Obviously, I can't legally say anything, so if you are seeking answers, I can't give you any for my safety. I am under NDA. I had such high hopes and amazing plans to execute. It's unlikely I will return to full-time streaming or consistent at all. The situation has shaken me up. And then only a few hours ago, she comes out and posts this. Even after being gone for a month, I still cannot be left alone. There are so many half-truths to the statement, and I am unbelievably thankful to those of you who can see through it. Ultimately, although I want nothing but to offer my transparency, they have my docs, and after an unnamed incident, I have zero confidence that my information is safe at this point due to how communications broke down so severely. I also understand that the truth will affect people I still hold very dear to me, as well as their income and potential growth, not to mention potential future individuals that may wish to join. I say through gritted teeth that I will happily take the fall, but God forbid when the doors are closed on the unnamed organization, I will then tell the truth. Thank you to those who can see my actions and look past my mistakes. I'm gonna be an indie forever, guys. And that is an absolute fact. Oh my god, it sounds exhausting to work for a company. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. As I predicted, it's the VTuber purge here in 2023, and I'm gonna keep you guys posted on all the latest happenings. I appreciate your attention. Have a great day, guys.